In today's episode, we get to know the man who built this incredible lodge.
We ended up with a team of about 135.
Wow.
Carried all the logs by hand, so that also took a while.
The reason why he started a school for children with disabilities.
Right. So it's hugely exciting to open a lodge and then have a child, but unfortunately then Sydney started having seizures when he was 3 months old.
And how him and his team are manufacturing wheelchairs out of bamboo sticks. Stay tuned.
Now there is so much to do here, and I can't wait to show you what I get up to at this lodge. But not only that, they are doing exceptional work within this community, just giving back to the community as well. We get to have a one-on-one convo with the owner and what inspired him to build this lodge. Not only that, we get to talk to him about the work that he's doing within the community. So stay tuned. It's going to be a big episode. It's Uganda like you've never seen it before, and I can't wait to show you guys. Stay tuned. So we're here at Kyaninga with the man who's responsible for building this, for constructing this little beauty in this remote, secluded area. You're doing God's work, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You're doing God's work. This is the views at the back there, the landscapes, the beautiful landscapes, the backdrop that you can see. Absolutely stunning.
Been very blessed.
I'll call him Sir Steve Williams, because he's doing more than just building, safari lodges. And we're gonna get into it now. Just look at that.
That is brilliant.
Wow. That's it. Welcome to Uganda, guys.
You couldn't make it out. So I guess we should probably start with you introducing yourself. It would be great to hear kind of how you came to Uganda, a bit about your wife, your son, and everything from the beginning. So
Okay,
talk us through
the
it.
short version.
Yeah.
No, we came to Uganda in 2003. So my name's Steve Williams, should say that first. Watched far too much David Attenborough as a child, if that's possible.
Huge fan as well. Huge fan.
So it just Uganda kept coming out on top, like all the guidebooks, the national parks, very untouched. Always the top for the people. Ugandan people were always praised to be the most friendly, quickest to engage and get into deeper conversations and discussions. Very unjudgmental. So yeah, people and wildlife. So I spent the first year in between 1 to 3 months of each of the national parks around Uganda. Just camping. Back in those days, it was a little easier. Now I think it's like $40 a day to go in the parks. In those days, $50 for 3 days and over.
Wow.
So I stayed in some parks for 3 months.
No way.
Oh, man, you were living the dream.
And then you can obviously pay your camping fees, but now I think maybe they changed their deal.
Yeah.
Because of me. No, but it was great. Yeah, and very, very few people. It's great to see a few more tourists now. So then, got stuck, as people do in Uganda. It's quite common. And then rang up my mother a year later and said, "You don't need to pick me up from the airport as I'm not on the plane," which he didn't enjoy very much.
Wow.
And then he decided to build a lodge. Thought it would take 2 years. It took 6. As I was saying to you earlier, a lot of brute force and ignorance. A lot of that. So I bought some books and started to teach myself how to make log cabins.
Wow.
Started off with little 4-foot log cabins.
Wow.
Kept trying different books and eventually found one great book called the Log Construction Manual, which is in North America. And then we just trained up guys in the local area in everything from carpentry, furniture making, stonework, plumbing. We ended up with a team of about 135.
Wow.
Carried all the logs by hand, so that also took a while. I was driving a tractor every day, picking up the logs. That took a while. I was a bit micromanaging at the beginning, but you learn on the job quite quick that that's not a good idea.
Amazing.
So yeah, share the trust. And then, it just grew and grew. So the first 2 years was training. The next 2 years was training and building, and the last 2 years was properly building.
Wow.
Steve's vision in creating the lodge did not end there. Steve has gone on to establish a range of projects making an extraordinary impact on the lives of thousands of children living with disability in the region.
Very quickly, tell us about what this school is about and what the aim of the school is, basically.
Okay. So Kyaninga Inclusive Model School is born out of Kyaninga Education Hub. So it's one of the tools of Kyaninga Education Hub, which basically does teacher training to different teachers in the region, in Western region, and majorly Kabarole district where we are. And currently in more 7 districts that we're working in with Kyaninga Child Development Center, which is our mother foundation and our mother organization. So Kyaninga Inclusive Education Hub does teacher training to different teachers, different head teachers, and student teachers in different colleges on inclusive practices, play-based learning, and all that, to be able to have schools in Kabarole district, Western Uganda, Uganda as a whole.
Steve goes on to discuss why he started the project of building Kyaninga Inclusive Model School.
Yeah.
And then tell us, so you met your partner here, is that right?
Yes. Whilst building the lodge, we just started, and yeah. So we.
So your wife is Ugandan.
Ugandan.
Amazing. And then you guys had a child while you were building.
Just same year we opened. Sydney was born. So Sydney was born January 2006. January 2011, and we opened the last sort of month of 2010.
Right.
So it's hugely exciting to open a lodge and then have a child, but unfortunately then Sydney started having seizures when he was 3 months old, which were not fun. We had to resuscitate him a few times. We were bouncing around. We went to Kenya, ended up back in the UK, and trying to start the lodge as well. So we'd be in the UK, then I was coming back, going forward. Right. Really unsure times. And eventually we slowly sort of got the diagnosis and got worked out. He has epilepsy, he also has a development delay. And then during that journey, we just met initially like 20 families that really, like, where did you get the help? I was in England, but we can see, share ideas and share expertise. So we eventually decided, well, what does Sydney need? And we had these 20 families. So we decided he needed a lot of stimulus. That's what they told us. The medication was controlling the epilepsy, but he had a development delay. So lots and lots of stimulus. So we put an advert out for a physiotherapist to come out for 6 months, whilst we really also decided what we're going to do out here if there's no resources for children with disabilities. So Fiona Beckerleg came out. She's a physiotherapist.
From the UK?
From the UK. She'd been travelling around, but she was brought up in the UK, Yorkshire.
And assuming there was no one in country that...
No, it was, there's like 2 physios for the entire referral hospital for this. That's 6 districts with 2 physios, and they don't specialise with children. So it's mainly for rehabilitation for breaking your leg or accidents. So she came out for 6 months, and we thought, okay, let's have this small centre, up these 20 children. But within 6 months, we had 200 children on the books, and then Fiona, I, and my wife Asha realised that this is an enormous problem. So then we slowly started to add occupational therapists, speech and language therapists. We now got social workers, epilepsy specialists. So like a whole range of. Well, there's 85 now in the team.
Wow.
And the therapists themselves, which is sort of all around that sort of professional side, see about 1,000 children a month with just a whole range of disabilities.
And all of those are Ugandan?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
To have inclusion, the inclusion bit in every classroom that they teach. So it all started with Kyaninga Child Development Center, that started as a therapy and rehabilitation arm as one. And after existing for about 5 years, it came to the realization that the kids are getting therapy, but they're not going to school because schools do not know how to handle the children because they're not inclusive. So that is how Kyaninga Education Hub was born. So to be able to do teacher training, they need a demonstration school, and this is Kyaninga Inclusive Model School.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So it's it's an enormous need, but it is nice to see the change. Yeah, and obviously the earlier you catch the developmental delays and the disabilities, and the more you can do.
Right.
So we try. Yeah, when we started, I think our average age of impact was like 9, and now it's like under 3.
Wow.
So you can do a lot more then, and
They are also expanding their project and building a centre of excellence to help more children with disability within the community.
So yes, welcome to the Center of Excellence.
Wow, this is super cool.
I've never seen a Center of Excellence in
Wow.
Porto
Wow.
or in Kabarole.
Wow.
Yeah, so from me, this is the only center I've seen.
Wow.
And this is going to be one place where the parents are going to get therapy, all the holistic therapy, where they can find a physiotherapy, where they can find a speech and language therapies, where they can find a special needs teacher, where they can find everything they may need.
Sure.
And a parent doesn't need to go from here to there, but just come here and get holistic services for their children. Therapy rooms. And these, with time, will be therapy blocks, just therapy. And we'll, as I'm going to show you, this is going to be the therapy side, the education side, and the administration blocks will be the other side. But at the moment, we have admin and therapy here at the
I see.
four blocks there.
And when did you start building this then? When did this project start?
Well, everything started when they purchased the land. But the whole intense building started in 2022, and we moved here in 2023. So the biggest need was to have the therapy move from the other side where you've seen the school to here, so the school can come up from Kyaninga to town, and parents can, and teachers and everyone can easily access the school.
Tell us, like, what made you get into something like this? What was the sort of motivation behind you wanting to get involved with a project like this? And just going into this field of work.
Maybe something personal. I have a niece who is deaf, and she'd never been in school until she was like 14. And all her siblings were obviously in higher classes, and so I thought that there definitely must be so many people. And I knew how the father, who's my cousin, I knew how the father and the mother were doing and were going through to keep her away from the public, because they would be labeled as the parents who give birth to. I don't want to say the word, but so when I saw the job ad and I read about Kyaninga, and I thought, well, if there's something small I can do to change the status quo, I would love to.
From Ghana, and there is a stigma with disabilities. Some families see it as a curse, a generational curse. Some see it as a shame to the family.
Very much so, yeah.
And things like that. How do you overcome that then? How do you educate parents and the community within that? How have you gone about it? Because obviously you've been doing a few things within the community.
Yeah. So our whole organisation is community based. So we initially set up a fixed centre, and we were busy, but we weren't as busy as we thought we might be.
Right.
And then we started the community outreaches. So now we work with 30 community health centres. And because the stigma starts from the village. If you're not in the village, then they're not coming to your general hospital. That's right. So for stigma, yes, the therapists are brilliant, and the wonderful work. The guys that really change it are the parents. So what we realised is that if we could work with amazing parents and then bring them in to receive like an exposure to all disabilities, so they could learn what all the different sort of types and how you go about training and where the resources are, know your rights. So we then work with that parent, and that parent then goes back and starts an expert parent group in their area, and then you just can't believe how many people come looking, because they just that they can relate to that, it's in their area, and then that's where it starts. So that's where most of the parents start their journey and try to get that stigma. The stigma will go quick if you get enough people together
to buy into their sort of idea of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly.
Obviously, we've had the privilege of seeing the projects whilst we've been here, and we're both pretty blown away by them. But I guess one thing I'm quite excited to talk about is where the wheelchair foundation, That's incredible.
That was very innovative.
It took a while though. We had a great team. It's good when you're forced into a corner, isn't it? Then you sort of sometimes you're.
And he's even gone as far of building wheelchairs out of bamboo sticks. Mad.
These two are the warehouses where we're making all the wheelchairs. And like I'd already told you previously, this is all the third part of Kyaninga Child Development Center. This is after the school was born, and this came in 2019, 2020. Everything you see on this chair is locally sourced in Uganda.
Wow.
Let's start with the bamboo, which get it usually from the villages, and we also have a forest foundation that plants the bamboo. The seating is made of car seat belts. So these are repurposed car seat belts to make the seating, both up and the backrest and the seat rest. And then the actual seat, the foam is made of cheap foam. So this is like mattress, the last part of the mattress that is chipped and compressed into to make this hard part of the cheap foam. Maybe you can touch and feel. So yes.
Yeah, that's quite solid.
Yep.
But I can see why it needs to be solid.
Yes, to be solid, and also so the inside part of it is with the softer foam, which needs to obviously be comfortable. Of
course.
And
the hard bit is to hold it in place.
Yes. And this is cotton. This is 100% cotton because of the bed sores. We have to use the material of the seat that is 100%. The cloth that covers all this has to be cotton.
Right.
So the tires, like I said. So this is the 12-inch, and this is the 14.
14-inch.
Yes.
Serious
14
rims,
inches. So the rims and all everything metal is made in the workshop.
This is the Ugandan version of Pimp My Ride.
Different everything to try and see which one works best. So they've painted these with different types of varnishes, different types of beeswax, or to try and see which one works. And I think these have been on test since this is, maybe you can have a look at this.
Strong.
Yes.
So,
so this has been out here since 1st of September 2023, and all these are still on test. So they're left in the rain, in the sun, and in everything.
So the durability is...
Yep. So this is to actually do the finishing test and actually see which varnish works better.
Okay.
Yes.
How long does it take to make one wheelchair?
I think because it was, still testing and trying to break the parts and make it, I think for one person, because if I said maybe one person, I think 3-4 days. But then all these things are going to be easier now that we have a machine workshop, and we're going to make jigs to try and make different parts all at the same time or faster than usual. So I think we say at least 20 wheelchairs, I could say the list in a month.
So easy, isn't it?
This is really good, It's quite
It's
comfortable as well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I want one.
No, it's impressive.
And it's all part of the Chinga Mobility project. It's a not-for-profit initiative to manufacture and supply locally produced, sustainably sourced bamboo wheelchairs for KCDC and the wider Ugandan and East African market. What a guy, man.
Yeah, so there is no access to mobility equipment, and the only ones we get are quite often the imported Chinese ones, which are sort of one size fits all. Small wheels, obviously alloys that we can't weld, so they can't maintain them locally. They break, they're not designed for the terrain, and expensive. Well, if you want the nice one, they're the off-road ones, which you want, they're like $5,000 to $8,000.
What?
So like they're great, but
Crazy.
or you can get
wheelchairs are expensive,
but you can get like cheap Chinese ones, just your normal one for like $100. But they're not what we need because they break, they don't suit the environment. So yeah, we just sort of stuck in a corner really. We'd get wonderful donations from the UK, like they send a container, but it'd be adult wheelchairs. Quite often, the footrest missing. Then a bearing goes, and you can't get that bearing here. As I said, you can't weld the alloys, not fitted. So then you get put in the wrong wheelchair to the wrong situation. So we looked at lots of ideas. Like the metal here is very heavy. We don't have like high carbon steel. We don't have alloys. So you're on your real mild heavy steel, which makes it weigh a ton. We tried recycled plastic. We tried 3D printing for ages, which is great. Great journey. We learned a lot. We're still using it in the chair. We're going to use it for some of the other assistive devices. But for manufacture, it wasn't going to work with the wheelchair. But bamboo kept coming up. We used a lot of bamboo. So all the roof trusses are bamboo. All these railings, the bamboo. So we knew how to treat it. It's very simple to treat with a very strong salt solution.
And there's an abundance of bamboo, right?
We're starting an outgrowers program as well, so that the parents who will be of the children with disabilities can grow it, and then we can buy back the bamboo. So
that's amazing, man.
So I think it's going to work well.
It's a win-win situation.
Yes, the very bamboo that you're buying is going to hopefully make the equipment that they want. So yeah.
It's wicked.
Also, you see the seats come off.
We saw it.
But
So you can
just like
then you can swap seats as well as they grow. Put another seat onto the same frame.
How sustainable is that? Like when you think other people that would just have to get a whole new wheelchair.
And it's good. Obviously, we did it so you can store it and travel with it. But it's and then also like a lot of the houses are too small to fit a wheelchair in. Like if you go and see the mud huts in the village to get a wheelchair in. So what we'll do is we'll provide a stand now in the house so they can still sit at the family table, and you take the seat off, take the seat in, and then obviously you can leave the frame out.
That's wicked.
Otherwise, they just go back on the floor again.
That's so sick. You were there. I was just like, wow, this is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
No, it's been a fun journey. There's been a good group of us working together.
Has it been fun? Has it?
Yeah.
You can be honest, Steve. It's good to say it's not fun.
No. Just it's sometimes obviously you get caught in a you want it to be done much quicker than it's done.
Yeah.
But testing takes so long.
I know. Yeah.
And we don't want a chair that goes out there and then that's the wheelchair that the front always breaks off.
That's right. And then there's always something they nitpick.
Parts of the profit of this lodge essentially goes straight into the project, right?
Yeah. So we just stole as much as we could at the beginning. So at the beginning it was just the lodge, and then it just became too big. There was not enough, and I borrowed all the money for the lodge, so I was missing all my loan repayments. Luckily, I have a very lovely chap who I borrowed it off, who's been very kind over the years. For profit, we were one of the only not-for-profit, and that opened doors to the donor world. So then we got a bit, and then so what we did then is like, what do we do? So we got friends, but it's nice to when you start a project, you base it on what the team and the community thinks. So we started using the lodge money to start it. So like to start mobility, we used the lodge money. For the first year of the school, we ran it from the lodge money. And then it meant that every decision that you do is based on what needs to be done.
So cool, man. Honestly, it's been an amazing experience just seeing what you're doing outside of all of this.
And how many children you supported. I think that's like one of the hugest things that I've taken from it. I was like, it also opens your eyes to like how many children need that support. Like, to think,
100%.
we were lucky enough to see the kids today.
Oh, so what's next then? What's next for?
We'll have a sleep, I think.
He's like, I'm tired. I'm done.
No,
I'm gonna enjoy my lodge. That's what I'm
yeah. No, I don't. We need. There's a gap for children when they get over 13 who won't be able to go stay in the school. So we need to develop something for that. What that looks like is in discussion. We need to keep scaling so that more community schools are obviously inclusive. So that's where the 2-year teacher training. The Centre of Excellence, which you went to see the bit there. So that is, I know it's a building, but really...
More funding for, by the way.
Yeah, we managed four units, but we got a lot to build. But that's really about scale. So that's, government come and visit, especially they are starting to come. Other NGOs can come and visit. It's like a one-stop shop. Parents come, know their rights, where all the resources are, full of resources. See all the different, the bamboo products, the assistive technology. So you go away from there feeling, that you've got, now you've got a point of call where you can go. So that's That's great, and then that's sort of extended now into the African Disability Collaboration. So that's joining together other organisations around. We've got like Malawi, Kenya, and that's sharing best practices. But also then we can share like how to, collect our data. That we can share data. Have a regional voice, so people can stand up as a regional voice. How to work with our governments better. So I think it's going to go really well. That's going to make a huge change.
It's done. No, honestly, Steve, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming to see us. Very kind.
Thank you very much for giving us your time.
Privileged to learn from such greatness.
No, we have a fantastic team.
It's true. And you've got a great team as well.
Yeah, great family, great team. Yeah, so we're very blessed. Very blessed.
It's amazing.
Incredible. We met a lot of the team today, and it was just. Yeah,
there's a lot of passion in them. That's what the team have got. A lot of passion. They really want it. They really are.
They've been making great. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Cheers.
As I prepare to leave Kyaninga Safari Lodge and Uganda, I'm struck by the profound impact of their community work. Beyond the stunning landscapes and wildlife, I've witnessed their dedication to education, healthcare, and conservation for those that really need it. They're not just preserving nature, they're empowering local communities. To everyone at Kyaninga, thank you for showing me the true meaning of hospitality and generosity.